Santa Cruz, where Santa Carla is modeled after, was once plagued with a reputation of being the murder capital of the world because of a series of very brutal murders by 3 different serial killers in the early 1970s. Santa Cruz endured 28 murders over a 30-month period between 1970 and 1973. So The Lost Boys is one of those fun 80s campy vampire movies that over the years it's definitely grown to a cult classic for many people for a lot of reasons. I'm not a vampire fan really at all, but I've always found some exciting things to be found in this movie, and I have 3 reasons why I think The Lost Boys is a really solid 80s vampire movie. I really like the tone that is set in the very beginning in the town of Santa Clara. The director Joel Schumacher does a great job of establishing just how we're supposed to feel towards the town of Santa Clara and towards the newcomers, the characters Michael and Sam and their mother, and how we're supposed to feel being them, be in their shoes as they're coming into a new town. They could tell right away that something was off with the town and with some of the people in the town. The second reason is this movie is full of a lot of fun, well-written characters. I really like Michael's character, Sam's great, David, star, and then the grandpa in the movie is actually low-key super cool and super fun. And then you have the Frog Brothers. A lot of these stars in this movie are up and coming. I mean, there's just a lot of great 80s stars in this, but the 80s stars is what makes these characters so great. Is specifically, I think David's actually my favorite character. I've always liked the bad guy for some reason. David's mannerisms and his personality and just the overall 80s look. I'm a big fan of the 80s, the style, the music. I was just really digging his outfit, his hair, the earring, I mean the whole 9 yards when it comes to the classic 80s look in California. And I just felt like he was definitely an underrated character. He didn't get a whole lot of lines in the movie, but I think his presence alone deemed him to be a super fun character. And then the final reason is, I mean, in every movie there's always a lesson to be learned, no matter how funny it is, no matter how campy it is. And yes, even in this movie there's a lesson to be learned, specifically with Michael. So he's the new guy in town, he wants to make friends, he's really attracted to this girl Star and he wants to get to know her better and maybe even date her, but he has to go through the Lost Boys to get to her, and how he does that is he kind of just follows the crowd, he gives into peer pressure, he steps closer and closer to destruction basically. He has no idea what he's doing, all he knows is he needs to get closer to Star and he wants to get in with the Lost Boys and be the cool guy around on a motorcycle and be just like them. The life lesson there is pretty much don't give in to peer pressure, and he sacrificed who he was for somebody he wasn't. Even his brother Sam said, this isn't who you are. He was trying to fit in and he was way out of character. He even got his ear pierced. I mean, he was really trying to be just like these guys, because can you blame the guy? I mean, most of us would do the same thing that he did. We're trying to fit into a group. We don't want to be the outcast. We want to make new friends. So we would go to some extremes to be friends with these people, but at the same time, the company you keep is very, very important, and also just being smart and using common sense and being aware of who these people are and the reputation that they have may not bring you the kind of acceptance and identity that you want. This movie is just super awesome. I know for sure it's on Netflix. I'm not sure what other streaming services it's on, but if you haven't seen it in a while, it's a pretty fun movie to watch, especially around now with Halloween coming closer and closer. And of course, if you're a vampire fan, if you're an 80s fan, this is definitely the movie for you to check out. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But if you haven't seen it in a while, check it out just the same. So for The Lost Boys, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What's your favorite vampire movie? See you next time.